Howdy, Drizzle. Welcome back, Whistlebro. IK. Meowdy. Welcome back, Aaron. Welcome back, QCon. Welcome back, Astrid. Meowdy, everyone. QCon getting back into the Balatro. Exciting. Welcome back, Olinka. Yeah, good time to get back into it, I guess. Update gonna drop any day now. Maybe. Mark, welcome back. Make some numbers increase. Yeah, sure. Game Spy. Glad you can make it. Yuki, welcome back. Yuki been looking forward to streaking all day? I guess like Kirsten's live. If you're not already following Kirsten and Stupid and Pugman, follow all three of those. That'll get you where you need to be. Follow Mark too. That way you got Balatro any time of the day. Follow Kai, follow Dolly. I think according to Steam, maybe Dolly's playing Balatro right now but not streaming it. In that case, maybe overdosing on Balatro? Maybe. I guess choose your own adventure. Sometimes it's nice to just like have something on in the background while you're doing something else. Like right now, maybe. Lately I've been watching The Blacklist, or I guess rewatching The Blacklist. Because I can mostly ignore it. Omega, welcome back. Raffle and Bean, those are the classics, yeah. They might like stream at the same time though, like the afternoon evening time. Moon's out already? Oh, I've been discovered. Diamonds? Well, 4 and 2 of diamonds. Well, I don't think we keep the king. Maybe that's a good 9. There we go. Shield stream today? Yeah, so we're still on cooldown from speedrunning, I guess. Maybe speedrunning comes back next week. Crazy or zany? I guess between the two of those, Crazy is better in the short term, but much worse in the long term. Maybe it's fine. Probably we take Crazy. Maybe you can pass on. You could take Zany, you could sell it, and then get the blackboard. Maybe perishable blackboard, even though it's expensive in the short term, is maybe better than rental Crazy Joker, or sorry, Eternal Crazy Joker. Eternal Crazy Joker is better going into the boss, but then immediately worse. Let's find out. My monitor keeps crashing. Keeps turning off. My second monitor, that is. My chat monitor. Yeah, I might have to replace it soon, which is sad. Zach, thank you for the 2 months of Prime. Koi's, welcome back, and thank you for 1 whole year. Alright, Luchador is not necessary against this boss, but maybe something you want to have for the future. Maybe Scholar is a way that we could get out of Crazy Joker. These things don't really work together, but maybe could be a way out in the future. I think I don't need the Scholar. Maybe the Scholar helps us if we miss on the straight draw. Yeah, the other Scholar was an Eternal Rental. I think you never take the Eternal Rental. I am not interested in spending $5 on a Luchador. I think we just save our money. Go next. Alright, here... I guess aces and nines is pretty good. We should just play it. It makes it so that we can't play a straight, but... maybe we don't need to play a straight. Maybe we play this straight. Welcome back, Kitty. We are just getting started. Alright, Spectral Pack makes sense. After Dark, congratulations on 39 in a row. That's really good. Glad you got to attend the Jackbox stream. Dang, we got Grim. We could have had the aces. Could have had the Scholar. Okay, so going into the next round, Crazy Joker is probably fine. I think Slide Joker is something that we want to take anyway. These things are not compatible, but maybe Slide Joker plus some other kind of... maybe you do Full House with the aces, or maybe you get some kind of generic plus multi. Going for the 10 is admittedly dubious. So maybe we do... I don't think I want to go pair of fours. I guess we could do something like this. Try to get the 10, or it could be an 8. Could be like that, I guess. Anti-synergy for the flexibility. Yeah, that's like kind of typical, assuming that you have the money to afford it. Square is probably the thing that we want to do. What's the streak now? Last time we were streaming, we won 3 in a row, but I did reset the profile. So interpret that how you want. I think I want the square. The question is, can we afford to take the Arcana packs? And I guess with no source of mult right now except for Crazy Joker, I'm going to say no to the Arcana packs. Obviously, you could high roll something like lucky cards or gold cards, but probably we need money to find mult, and I don't think Flower Pot is the answer. So... now we're just trying to play at least one straight. I don't think it's going to happen on the low end, so we can play the pair of fours for the square, I guess. We need the 10, which might be difficult to force, so maybe what we do is we throw away more of the low cards here. Fienders would be helpful, yeah. Okay. I do have extra aces in the deck. Not necessarily a lot of aces, but we do have extra. I think here we could do a pair of 5s. And then maybe we get the aces, or maybe we get the 9. Kitty says, can we put a dock on the moon? You want a different dock? A separate additional dock on the moon? Or do you just want the main one? I guess, do you want me to move up there? We can move up there. Send and dock to the moon. Alright. So I gotta do this. I gotta do that. And then hello, Steel. Welcome back. Flip horizontal. On the moon. On the moon. I guess you're not going to be able to see the cards. Maybe Kitty did this on purpose. Maybe at this scale you can't see that the cards are a 6 and a 7. Air VX. Thank you for the 6 months of Prime. I think this is fine. And then now I need a 7. Or I need to draw a bunch of aces. So is it easier to draw a pair of 7s? Or sorry, a pair of aces? I guess if you draw one ace, you still need one out of the other 4 aces. Probably easier to go for the 7. So I guess we can discard now. We could play the pair of 7 or pair of aces. Maybe play a pair of aces like this. Okay, and then since we need the 7, we throw away the 3s, and then that's it. Not super cozy, to be honest. That was a little bit spooky. Juggler kind of helps. I think at this point we go Arcana, looking for money. That's money. That's $10. Huh. Okay. So I like the idea of taking the extra hand size. And now go next. That's like $11, yeah. Okay. So I guess we're looking for pairs. Could be pair of 6s. Or sorry, pair of 4s. Temperance value? Kitty, true. True. I think we're supposed to sell the Sly Joker now. I think now we score enough points with the pairs. And then a pair of kings, I guess. We could play high card to grow the square, but if we play pairs, we get obelisk value, telescope or supernova value. We don't have to worry about the bosses anymore, so I guess we could go to the moon for money. And then Archon. Lucky card or gold card? I guess gold card is probably better. Since we don't have to worry about bosses, maybe it makes sense to do a gold base card. And then, with to the moon, I guess it is a rental, so maybe we don't take the standard pack for now. All right, pair of jacks, pair of 7s. We do have 5 hands because we're playing on the blue deck. The next hand doesn't win. I don't need these queens. I can play this pair of kings. And then pair of aces, I guess. All right, it's a golden joker. We get 4. We might actually need something like this. We might want halvesies. I guess Is Square scaling up fast enough? I think we can get 1,000 per hand. So I guess we just go next. Okay. We do need pairs though, so we could do a pair of 10s. Certified Chico hater, card carrying Chico hater. Yeah, I get it. Something Thunk has said before is, when you're new to the game, this is your favorite one. This is the most exciting one. The other legendaries, I don't know what to do with them, but this one I understand. This one is, the thing that's hard about the game is no longer hard. Pair of 7s, I guess. Alright, so we have chips. We probably need more molt. Mystic Summon is probably the source of molt. We could do Lucky Ace, Lucky Queen. Balatro multiplayer. Hello, multiplayer folks. Welcome. I guess we want this. Maybe with Grimbo it's fine already. So do we already have, what do we need? We need like 1,600 per hand. We need, this is yeah, I guess Grimbo here makes sense. I think also I'm gonna take Mystic Summit too, and then save my money. Or I guess if the Celestial Pack has Mercury, then you don't need this Mystic Summit. Grizzle's out of here. Grimbo might not survive the whole time, if that makes you feel better. Alright, we could do the pair of 6s. Alright, so if that's 1,200 already, then we should be able to get by without the Mystic Summit. That's 15. The aces win as 4 of a kind if we want, I guess. 8 watch for now. Okay. Alright, so 18 per hand. And then we play this one. And we got the gold card. Okay. I mean, this would be very exciting. So here we're getting punished for taking Crazy Joker where we don't have very many Joker slots. I guess we want the Arcana pack first. There's Hermie. Alright, so Mystic Summit's out, and then we just got Blue Guy instead. Spicy run so far. Yeah, I mean, Chiclets might get replaced here. I guess I don't need to reroll. We can save our money for booster packs. Alright, well, I guess it's just high card. That's 17. Pair of 6s. Could be a pair of kings. That's like 2k. 26. Alright, so I guess we play the pair of aces then. This wins. Blueprint on chiclets? Alright, I got you. Madness doesn't work. Celestial pack. Earth doesn't really matter, probably. Mercury is probably what we want to do. Alright. So now it's 25 times 5. Or 3 times 5, I guess. We're never picking up Supernova. Because we got Blueprint. And we don't have no slots. So this is 3,000. That wins. Alright, we're looking for one additional piece of scaling. Either... Do I want a glass 4? Not currently, no. Alright. Anyway, the two things that we're looking for, maybe a blue seal, or we're looking for an X-Molt Joker. That would probably close the door. 5,000 per hand. So I guess we can finish with the 2 pair. That's kind of cute. There we go. Good morning, Noxy. I'm tired. Baseball card madness doesn't work. I should have taken Hone first. We could get a purple 3. Maybe purple 3. I think I'd rather have the holographic. That could be useful in the end game. Ivory. Hello. Ivory the Terrible. What makes you so terrible? Sorry, Agamemnon. This is what we got. Today, this is what we got. Alright, so maybe we set up for the 2 pair. There we go. 7,000. So in the next round you need Stencil doesn't work, Listoy doesn't work. Next round's like 8,000 per hand is what we need. I don't think I need this rock. Well, nah. We got the square guy, we don't need the rock. $8,000 per hand. Listoy always works? Maybe for a short time. Maybe that's the deal, is it's perishable and so we can't keep it forever. Omega may be biased? Maybe. I guess that's possible. No shortcut. No pants. No throwback. First hand's face down. I guess not. Maybe we can throw the queens here. Okay. The next round, 60,000. Buka, you're a fan of that Listoian boy. You trying to work him? Trying to put him to work? Alright. So I guess we can take liquidation and then we can get a discounted Arcana pack. Could be Hermie. Boss says face cards face down. The bosses don't matter right now, but maybe there's some consideration. You could sell Chiclets and then maybe like there take Faceless Joker plus Blueprint, maybe. Could be Ramen. So like, if I don't care about this boss, maybe you just take Ramen and then you copy it with the blue guy. But then certain final boss could be kind of rough. Maybe Crimson Heart, maybe, what is it? I think we keep Chiclets unless we get maybe Blackboard or something like that. Ramen locks it up. You still lose to the Violet Vessel though. Lose to Violet Vessel, lose to the Crimson Heart. I don't think Ramen is strong enough. So go next. Just don't get those bosses. Maybe. What if we don't get Violet Vessel? That's also an option. I guess 2 pair is fine. So this is 10k and then this is I guess it wins even if you don't blueprint. Okay. No beans. Lucky 9. Maybe I want a lucky 9. Maybe we got not enough other value generators. Maybe a lucky 9 is fine at this point. Oh my god, there's a lot of bonking going on in the chat. Hard Shark is perishable. Strong but perishable. I think right now there's maybe 7 or 8 rounds left, so you'd have to skip a lot. That's a lot of skips. So I don't think I'm gonna take it. Alright, so I guess we could do something like that. We can pair the 4s. And then maybe queens? Ah, never lucky. And the aces. Alright, so we're currently at like 30,000 per hand. What this means is we can beat ante-7 small blind, we can beat ante-7 big blind, but then after that, it could be kind of spooky. I can take another glass ace since we have aces already. Okay, probably don't need the ace here. I guess I should keep the 9s and the queens since those are the lucky ones. That's 30,000. Okay. That helps. So this doesn't win if I do that. And then the next one's 30 if we do that. Okay. RIP Omega. Boss says we could skip for a nice amount of money, but I think we still just want the Grimbo scaling because we're scaling Grimbo, we're also scaling Square at the same time. Trading card not gonna fit. There's a blue guy instead of a fancy ace. Yeah, I wonder if you're supposed to go blue guy plus business card, or maybe we don't have enough hands to do that. There's priestess. Should get paid for buying Grimbo? Yeah, should get paid for having to tolerate this nonsense. Eternal Straight Jugger really cramping our style. True. Made sense at the time for kind of like short-term survival considerations. Okay. 20,000 per hand with no sauce. Wish you could sell Eternal Jokers. I guess that would be convenient, but maybe that would kind of defeat the purpose of having Eternals as a mechanic. I guess you just play on lower stakes if you want, right? Gold 8. At this point, probably doesn't matter as much as the blue guy. The steel also probably doesn't matter. So maybe we don't do that. Alright. So we can play a pair of 6s. Bad internet in Paris? My condolences. That's a bummer. I guess it's kind of cool to be hanging out in Paris. Alright, so the next one wins. We could play the pair of 9s here. Get the blue guy value. And then, I don't really want to play the ace, but I guess it doesn't really hurt us to play the ace. If it breaks, that's fine. Okay. Stuntman is a ×2. Is probably worse than Chicklets. Also, it's eternal, so we can't back out. Can't change our mind. Alright, we should wait. We should save our money, and then that way we know what boss we have to deal with. Okay. So here's pair of 10s. Pair of 9s. Kings without copying. And then the queens score 50. Okay. This boss says shuffle me Jimbos. So this could be a situation where now we don't need Chicklets. Now we know. In case we want to try to pick up something else. And I kind of do. Kind of need something else. Okay. What's a Grimbo? It's this guy, the green guy, is a Grimbo. We need Chicklets for completionists. That would be ideal. That would be nice. I guess we don't really control that necessarily. So I guess 60 times 5 is 300, so we're a little bit short. Okay, I guess keep the 9 here. Oh, I can play the 9s and the aces. Alright, 20 bucks helps. And then high card, I guess. Loyalty card actually gets the job done. Is that crazy? Loyalty card for the clutch. I guess we should respect it. I guess we should honor the loyalty card for the clutch up here. I guess throwback also gets the job done. Blackboard also gets the job done. Well, I guess the thing that's like kind of annoying about the loyalty card is you have to find it. Against the boss here, you have to find the loyalty card. But I have a plan for that. Chad. I guess Chad also gets the job done since we have the glass cards. Will it jiggle? I guess that's possible. No blackboard. I don't think we need a blackboard. That's the idea, is I don't think we need it. Wow, no pairs. That's crazy. Pair jacks. Listoy jiggles. What part of Listoy jiggles? Omega? Alright. The whole thing! Alright. Give me a fancy rock. It could happen. Give me a steel 5. Maybe the steel cards don't really matter that much. Strength is kind of fun. Seltzer. I guess you could do Seltzer with the aces too, but let's just do the loyalty card. Could be trio. I guess trio also works. Alright, so grab this guy. What's this guy doing? This is my Grimbo. That guy's there. I guess I can play the king. I guess I could strengthen here and then play slightly better aces, maybe? Wow. Maybe purple guy, we could have been okay. Alright, so this boss is discard random cards. Looks like good spades. Probably don't need the 7. So I'm looking for... Could be a queen or a 7. Is that better than going for the spades? I think the spades are better because we can play the pair of 10s. There we go. What about purple joker? In the extra credit mod, there's a purple joker, which I think is pretty fun. That's not good. So Campfire, we can sell it for $4, which is alright. Shoot the Moon is not good against this boss. Maybe Campfire, we can hold it. I guess between the two of these, I'd rather have a campfire. And then maybe going into the boss, maybe it's Uranus is what we need. Yeah, so I think it's no campfire, and I think Uranus is fine. Yeah, 3/8s. 3/8s are pretty good. So we can play the 8s here and then try to get a jack. Cool. Campfire value from selling campfire. True. Okay. Between the two of these, I'd rather have a hallucination, actually. So I guess we make sense. It's a scaling joker. So, going into the boss, definitely hallucination is safer because it gives us a foil. I think we take the Wii. Alright. Here in the opener, I think I'm looking for spades as a flush. I could play a pair of 2s. Or we can keep going for the flush. That's not good. So we could play the 2 pair and then we probably lose the 2. That's not good. We did 2 pair, 3s and 2s. All right, we only need 2 pair 3 times because we get 200 points per. So 2 pair works here. Sleepy, welcome back. And thank you for 19 months. Sleepy also created the handy mod. Okay. So with the Wii Joker, do we need something like this? Devious Joker. To help us survive in the short term. Maybe. I like that. I like taking Devious Joker into the next round. Probably better than re-rolling. Mercury, I think, is not super necessary because we have leveled up 2 pair. Maybe Devious Joker doesn't matter that much. Mercury doesn't matter if you've got Wii Joker. You just play 2 2s is the same as a pair level. There is a molt difference. Maybe you want the extra molt. If we're spending money, do we open packs? I think the packs are... You're basically just gambling. Wii Joker basically at 100 already? Not really. See, here's where you get into these situations where it's like, this is the big difference early game between the yellow deck and the blue deck. Like yellow deck, you would have 20 bucks and you just get something else. Blue deck, we have to figure out how to win with nothing. Why is the mic so crunchy? Is it? Is that true? I can try to adjust some things. All right. Drizzle says it's fine. So we could take both potentially, but then we're broke. All right, so I'm looking for, looks like a 7. I could also just play a different 5-card hand. I guess the straight is worth double, so we want to get the straight. I think for the purposes of getting the straight, maybe you drop the 2. or maybe the 2 is worth the scaling. We need a 7 or a queen. I guess we have an extra hand, so we can throw away one. And then we can dig for diamonds or clubs. Okay, we could play a flush. The benefit of the flush is we get the 2 in there. The problem is the flush is only 400 points. We would need a follow-up hand. We would need a king and a queen, or else we die. So probably supposed to go for the queen and the 7 still. There's the queen. All right, so we can play. We could do queen high, and then we don't have any more 9s. We don't have any more 8s. We could draw some low cards. We could draw some clubs. Maybe it makes sense to hold on to the 2 diamonds. We can't get any more 9s. Okay. And then we get punished for taking the pair level. That's not good. So in the next round, we know the straight is 800 points. So I guess we do that. Okay, a bunch of 7s. That's not great. So I think I go for the low end here. I'm looking for a 6 or a jack. There's the 6. So we can play the 10 high straight for 700. And then we can do 2 pair, jacks and 5s. We should be able to get out with 2 pair since we have the extra chips. We could do a pair of kings. We don't have any more 7s. We don't have any more jacks. We potentially want to try to draw our 2. So maybe it's like this. Do I ever play chess? Nope. Okay. Once again, punished for taking the pair level. Twice as punished. That's not good. So, we can survive if we get a straight because this boss is not that bad. So I guess we want a celestial pack. Probably Saturn is the direction that we need to go because it gives us the most points. The pairs are not getting there fast enough. With the Saturn card, I think we can take a business card now. All right. So 10 high straight. Sure. Saturn is not great because it's not like a reliable long-term plan, but it definitely keeps us from dying. I could do... I just want to draw my 2s. We could do 2 pair kings and jacks. We can do ace high straight. Didn't draw any 2s. Thus far, the Wii Joker is just worse than having the foil hallucination. Yeah, I thought hallucination might be the play. Blue Joker doesn't really work if we already have Wii. This boss is decreased level. I think we just go back in time and then survival becomes much easier. I think that's the answer. Then I don't need Todd. Okay. So, Supernova is useful, but it's also a rental, so probably you're supposed to take Misprint, but we can go Spectral Pack first. Red Seal on an Ace could turn into a 2. Or could be Purple Seal. I guess Red Seal has the highest upside. Now that we have Misprint, we probably don't need Devious Joker anymore. So Misprint plus we can just dig for 2s. So there's pair of 2s, pair of kings. Now we should have a little bit more momentum. We have business card for money. Maybe it makes sense to go Arcana pack now. Not infinite money, but we do get temperance. Probably. With these jokers, probably no wheel. Just go next. Alright, so I'm looking for 2s. If we play the 2 pair, the 2 pair gets de-leveled. How much do we care about that? We could play a house instead. How about that? Alright, boss here magically saves us. We could skip for 40 bucks. I think our scaling is not good enough to do that. Alright. Everybody on the bus. Everybody get in here. Arcana, we can reroll once. Could be Fibonacci instead of business card. And then you do... For sure, we don't need Devious Joker anymore. Star might work on the 2s. We already had Diamonds boss before. Seat is sticky. Oops, my condolences. Probably we drop the face cards here. Business card is done, and probably we want to try to do the bus. Or maybe with Fibonacci you don't need to do the bus. We will find out. Okay, so I have Misprint, so we can afford to just kind of discard some stuff. Spend to 20 bucks instead of 25. Is there a reasoning for that? It depends on a lot of factors. So if you've got like business card gives you money, or like a gold card in your deck gives you money, where you have a reasonable expectation, like if I spend this money I can bounce back still. Also Arcana packs, if you spend $4 on an Arcana pack, takes you to $20, and then you lose $1 of interest. Basically what you're doing is just spending $25 for the Arcana pack. And so it's like, would I be willing to spend $5 for the pack instead of just $4? And it's probably yes, for Arcana packs specifically. It depends on what you're looking for also. Some booster packs are going to be higher value than others. Or higher expected value. I kind of want to do save the star for more 2s and maybe aces. Yeah, I think it's like $17 and above. The Arcana packs are positive expected value or something like that. Or $15 and above. Someone calculated at some point. But mostly it's not every shop has an Arcana pack. Not every shop has a standard pack. So sometimes I'm willing to pay extra. Here we go Arcana second, I guess, or And maybe standard first. Boss says play 5 cards. So, good night, kitty. I guess the jack could turn into a 2, but maybe the 5 is best. Fool for a hung man. Or make a red gold card. Probably between the two of those, the red gold card is very valuable. So, probably start there. Get our value generators locked up. Okay, so I've got the 5. We can use the star on the 5 and the 2s. So this is fine, and then that makes them splashable if they're all diamonds. I can play the 5 first for the money, and then we can play the 2s. This misprint is a little bit of a liability. Maybe we're supposed to sell it so that we have more control over growing the bus, if that's something that we want to do. Bootstraps is going to be a no, but baseball card is good with Fibonacci. So, probably that. Alright. King and Jack, we can hang them. Go next. So I've got the 5. I can play 2 pair, 5s and 2s. Hack would be good here. Yes, hack with Fibonacci and Wii Joker. Also, baseball card. Hack is better now. Could be a trading card. Boss has previously played as debuff. So this is polychrome with the baseball card. I think if you got Fibonacci, maybe Fibonacci plus trading card is reasonable. And we don't actually need to do the bus. Could be a blue guy. Makes sense. I don't think I'd take a glass king. Death card. I guess I could make fancy aces. So maybe you could go ace and 5. Maybe we use the star so that we can get those diamonds we talked about. So maybe it's supposed to be like ace and 5 and a Fibonacci 3. And then use death to make another ace, dropping a queen, I guess. Something like that. There's also situations where like we have 50 bucks and we don't re-roll, and the reason for that is if you're doing okay pacing wise with your jokers, you don't actually need anything, then you don't re-roll. That way you have money to re-roll when you do need something. I can play the pair of 2s. I could discard. Let's play pair of 2s. Maybe I'm going for 2 pair levels if we got Fibonacci. Alright, so I could do high card 2 is not really blue seal. That's not really, I want to get a high card level. So let's just discard everything except for the 2s. We could play high card 2 here. Alright, so with high card 2, it's already 8,000 or something like that. Hello, Crash. Welcome back. With Fibonacci, maybe we get full house levels instead of pair levels. We could light them up here. Potentially lose the blue. I guess another option is... could just be Deja Vu on the 2. Get the red seal too. And And then no Grim here. That kind of sucks, but I guess with trading card it's fine. Snap off a Jack. And then solo 2. I guess I could play a bunch of solo cards for the bus. Maybe. So I'm looking for high-ranking hands. We could get 4 of a kind level. We can get maybe full house levels. Maybe 4 of a kind is easiest. And save our money for the next shop. Voucher. Snap off the queen. Alright, so I think most of the 2s are disabled. So I guess I'm looking for, could be a pair of 8s. Troubadour instead of bus? Maybe. Maybe that makes the blue seal easier. I guess what's nice about the bus is it's okay if we miss on the Fibonacci cards. Maybe that stops mattering after a while. I guess play a bunch of aces here. Vars, congratulations, getting your first win on the black deck. Nice. That's a tough one. I think banana instead of bus is kind of meaningful. Take an extra 2. The way things are trending, we probably don't need a bus. And if we don't need a bus, maybe you take Nanner. Could be Temperance, could be Emperor. I guess I just take the money here, and then we can reroll once. Dusk is kind of interesting with Wii and Fibonacci, though maybe not as a rental. Gert wants to know, what is my favorite Joker? Favorite Joker is trading card. That's like my #1 favorite. So if we go look, it's like trading card #1, and then shortcut is #2. I like that shortcut allows you to do something interesting, which you can't do otherwise, or like really difficult to do otherwise. So like trading card, shortcut, gift card is up there. I don't know if it's like #3, but definitely gift card is up there. Splash is up there. And then Burnt Joker I think is a lot of fun. So maybe it's like Burnt Joker #4, gift card Burnt Joker #3, gift card #4, and then Flash is #5, something like that. Hululu's up there. Hululu's probably like #6. Hululu is fun, but it's not as unique as Splash is. It's not as unique as Shortcut or Trading Card or Burnt Joker. Doc likes to get wet constantly. I mean, Crash can appreciate a good splash too. Anyway. Constantly? That's what I said, isn't it? Any tips for getting Splash Gold sealed? Splash with Flower Pot is pretty good. If you could find a Splash. Or sorry, if you could find a Flower Pot. Wii Joker is pretty strong on its own. Wii Joker is good with Splash. Photograph is fun with Splash. Fibonacci is fun with Splash. Basically, it's all anything that says it does a thing when the card is scored. Those are going to be good with Splash. And the common Jokers, these do the thing. Like, these are compatible with Splash, but these are not very strong necessarily. Like all the page 1 Jokers, they're intentionally weak, and then you replace them with something stronger later. So what you really want is some kind of uncommon Joker. You want Fibonacci is good with Splash. You want Onyx Agate is good with Splash. Maybe Smiley Face is stronger because it's like 5 instead of 3 per. So maybe my Smiley Face plus Splash could be fun. To be honest, okay, Splash is a $3 Joker. It's pretty weak, right? It's the only $3 Joker. No, there's also Jolly Joker's $3 or something like that. So you get what you pay for. It's not crazy powerful. But that's okay. It's okay that it's not that powerful. But that does mean if you want to try to get the gold sticker on Splash, you have to compensate with something else. But typically what I suggest for Completionist Plus Plus or like gold stake runs in general, if you want to get gold stickers, get a winning run first. Get a really strong winning run first. And then sell your Jokers in Anti-8. Swap out your Jokers in Anti-8. If Splash was a voucher, would you take it? I would take it as a voucher. It makes it so that you can't do the bus, but I think that's the only real penalty to taking Splash. Otherwise, it's like kind of free. I think Pareidolia as a voucher, I might not always take. It's kind of spooky as a voucher. Kind of spooky as a Joker, too. Alright, so with Fibonacci, we can take 2 pair levels. Maybe with the Stuntman, we can take 2 pair levels. Or sorry, not the Stuntman, but the trading card. Fool. I don't want to fool around with Uranus, so let's go Fool for Devil. Make a gold card. And Venus here is fine. Don't need this 10. I guess I'm looking for... There's a red seal too. So I guess Devil, I'm gonna wait. I don't think the 2s win here. Oh, we could play the flush. Like the whole point of making the diamonds is so that we could play the flush. And then I guess this wins. So if I'm gonna make a gold card, I could make a gold 5, I guess. Flash as a deck in vanilla. That's a good idea. Instead of a voucher, it's just like a deck that you do. No, Sleepy, that's a good idea. That's a good one. Flash deck, that sounds fun. I don't need flush level. We could get Justice. The wet deck. That's what you gotta call it. You gotta. Alright, probably we could use Death to make another 2. Probably we just hang them, actually. Alright, so this 7 we can turn into blue. And then 4 and Queen, we just hang them here. Or... Oh, that's correct. Alright. Go next. I don't need the 7, I guess. And I don't really need the 8s. We could play a flush. 24 molt. This is fine. If you play the Splash deck, does it also just give you Listoy? Start with Splash, you get Listoy also. Start with a little Gym Boy. We should probably save our money. This boss doesn't matter because we got Wii Joker. Alright. So snap off the queen. 7s and 3s. This doesn't win. Allegedly doesn't win. Alright. We could play the flush with the 2. This doesn't win. Allegedly. Okay. And then I don't need the ace. I can play a pair. I can play 2 pair. Probably 2 pair is where we want to get the blue seal. We want to do house and 4 of a kind probably. What happened to the speed runs? Taking a break to rest my wrist. I got a stress injury, so taking a week off. Could be rough gem instead of banana. Maybe that's what we're supposed to do. We got enough diamonds. I guess like rough gem is also a replacement for Fibonacci. It makes the boss a little bit spooky where if we don't get the Fibonacci cards, then we die. But maybe that's okay. Nanner is fun, but if we're being honest, maybe it's rough gem here. What if instead of rough gem, you take seltzer instead? It's perishable, but we get a ton of value, or presumably. Yeah, We Joker in the code is just a copy of regular Jimbo. So if Jimbo has Ben Star, then this also has Ben Star. Imagine the Wii value. I'm imagining it right now. I'm imagining it so hard. Bang. Wow. A circus of value. I guess I play 3 of a kind here. The 3 of a kind kind of sucks, right? So I need to draw the aces win. I could do 3s with the aces if I want to get the 2 pair level, and I think I do want to get the 2 pair level instead of the pair level. Celestial back. So 40 cards in the deck. We can get another 4 of a kind level. Not a lot of strength cards. Not a lot of strength in this seed. We lost an ace. We probably don't need a steel 10. Death card. So I guess we just copy the 2. Alright. We can snap off the 6. We could play 9s and 5s as a house instead of the 4 of a kind. No speed rub? No speed rub right now. We'll return to, we'll do more speed rubs next week. I think I think we just dig now for the 2s. I don't think it's worth using death on these 2s. We could do the star though, and then maybe could be the flush house, or it could just be the flush. I think I don't do the flush house because we could do 4 of a kind instead. Okay. This boss says play only 1 hand. Alright. we might go for the 4 of a kind then. The Wii has grown so much. Look at him go. He's all grown up. Purple 10. I think this late in the game, I'm not going to take a purple 10 going into this boss. I would take any 2s. Alright, so I don't need these 8s. I don't need all of this. Maybe keep the 5 in case we get the gold seal. I can make another 2. And then play the flush 5. Good night, Varst. I think that's what that means. Yeah, if you're completely new to Balatro, or like new-ish to Balatro, if you don't have that much gold stake experience, the Balatro 101 videos are short and can kind of like explain a little bit the early combat math, get you set in the right direction. And then after watching the Balatro 101s, if you go to the gold stake lessons, gold stake play along lessons, or whatever it's called, that's another playlist. And definitely with the more recent videos, I'm not as chatty necessarily. Stuff that I used to explain a lot, maybe I don't explain as much anymore. And so at least the first 10 or 15 videos in that series, or maybe just like the first 6 or 7, it's a little bit more explanation. Gold Seal 7. Once again, this late in the game, I'm going to say no. Go next. Var says we're so easy to bait. Ain't that the truth? So easy. Alright, let's get the 4 of a kind. Bang. At this point, seeing double probably replaces the seltzer, even though we have none clubs. Well, maybe we needed to beat this boss. Oops, as a deck. That might also work as a deck. Dang, Sleepy's got some banger ideas tonight. I don't think Showman as a deck works. I don't think Showman as a voucher works, even though I like postulated that could work in the past. But yeah, maybe Oops as a deck. Alright, so I think we just go in with the seltzer here. And then I don't think I do trading card. Let's do 2s and aces. So probably the 2 pair is fine. We could do 2 pair. Or we could do a flush. And I think the 2 pair is better. Okay. And then we can drop the seltzer if we want. And probably we should. So now boss says shuffle me Jimbos. Wow, they decided to be nice. Nice. Okay. Temperance for 16. Okay. And then Flower Pot is kind of real actually, right? Or sorry, popcorn. Probably we want some kind of uncommon instead. But Popcorn kind of works. Alright. So... do we just dig for the 2s? Maybe play this flush. Pretty weak flush. Not that weak. Gold 5. Probably don't need a gold 5. There's a couple 2s. So I should be able to play 3 2s without winning, and then we can play 3 more 2s. Alright. Popcorn. Don't need Matador. Don't need Stuntman. We already got rather large Wii. Maybe Justice. Maybe Duo instead of one of those. I could make a glass 2 here. We could wait for the boss round. Maybe we wait for the boss round. Wow, wait, Todd is kind of sick? No, because we have Wii Joker. Bummer. Alright. Play the flush with the ×2 from the duo. Okay. I could play a pair of 3s and then dig for my 2s. Eh. 3 2s. Let's go. Wow, V-Nits. Alright, the flush 5 is the best. We want to try to do the flush 5. Okay. What's in here? Death card. So I could make a glass card and then I can copy it, I guess. I could do this and then Fool for death. Ramen is an upgrade over Duo because we have the baseball card. That's true. Strength on the ace, I guess. I could use Justice and then make the glass 2 right now. 36 cards on the deck. And then turn the 3 into a 2. Alright. Wow, lucky car. I guess if we have room, we should just do it. Foiled again. Hey, there's Splash. Yeah, so if you want to get Gold Sticker Splash, get a winning run first, and then find it in the last ante. I suppose we could do Dusk if we wanted. Maybe Dusk instead of Fibonacci. Alright, we got a nice amount of chips on the Wii, so let's see here. 7 and 6, we can hang them. We can play a pair of 8s, throwing away a 7. Alright, the wiggling one, that has to be the trading card. Okay. Alright, nice amount of chips here. That has to be the Wii. We can do a pair of 5s. We could do 1, 2, maybe 2 pair? Okay. Maybe pair of aces? Hello, Pugathan. Little cheeky 2p, yeah. We could... Oh, this is not a flush, but I could play a pair of 2s. So if I play the pair of 2s, I could still get the lucky 2, is maybe what I want to do. Or maybe I want to save this lucky 2. I suppose we could snap off the jack first. And then play this pair of 2s. And then play the lucky one on the final hand. Alright, 5 cards on the deck. There they are. Flush 5. Chip it. Never lucky. Sad. Cool. That was a tough one, right? Was this this is the one that started out with the Devious Joker? That was brutal. We got our first Molt Joker in Ante 3 or something like that. Could be an interesting one to run back. Maybe what happens if you take, instead of the Wii, you take the Hallucination instead as a foil. It's easier in the short term, so maybe you get more value generation in the short term. Okay. Yeah, definitely. I mean, definitely the Wii Joker worked out. You know, you get 900 chips in the end, but it was really rough in the early game, and sometimes having some like early stability helps. In the previous run, we had what was it, Crazy Joker as an Eternal, which was kind of stinky to have as an Eternal. Maybe spades. This set of spades doesn't win. Wait, it does because we have the ace is 11. Okay. It does. Welcome back, Scrimble. Could be ramen. Ramen is chill. I kind of like banana, but if it leaves us, then we're pretty sad. Ramen is chill. Maybe you go ramen instead of buffoon pack. Alright. I think with ramen, we just discard. We just treat it as disposable. And then that's fine. I kind of like Shiny Hiker here. Maybe that's silly. Maybe that's too silly. Maybe what you're supposed to do is go Buffoon Pack so you can get some Molt so that we don't have to discard anymore. Yeah. Mystic Summit. Mystic Summit technically works with ramen. You just discard 1 card instead of 5 cards. Jolly Joker. Could be Jolly Joker plus Banner. Hug, what are your thoughts? New level auto. Thank you for the 3 Thank you for the super chat on the YouTube side of things. What I like about Jolly Joker is it gives us a guaranteed one shot against the boss. We don't have to discard. Maybe with Eternal Banner is even better. Yeah. Alright, now Ramen is eternal. If we're taking Banner, Ramen is eternal. Pair of threes. Maybe I don't need this Jolly Joker as a rental. But then we're pretty sad in the next shop. I think I keep Jolly Joker because we can one-shot. And then the blue deck gives us money. Maybe that's wrong. Fool, we can probably afford to hold on to. Jolly Joker rewards us, or this boss rewards us for holding on to Jolly Joker. Blue deck money is real? Yeah. Could be duo. Could be abstract instead of Jolly Joker. We can't afford duo. So, unless we sell ramen. Abstract Joker for sure. And then, do we sell ramen for duo? Probably that's a strict upgrade. It's not free, but probably worth it. I guess if we're not discarding anyway, maybe you just keep the ramen. Ramen is more generic. With Abstract Joker, we could, in theory, play like a high card on the first hand. I think you keep ramen here. All right. Pair of tens is more than last time. Okay. Definitely not misprint. For sure. Here, pair of kings. We know wins. High card also wins. Good news. We are surviving. We are one-shotting. Bad news is we have no money. I think we could be shortcut. Shortcut, slightly dubious for Roman. Slightly rewarded for not taking duo. Shortcut may be dubious with banner. Shortcut is like, that's a long-term plan. I think we can make that work. I want to buy the voucher, but I can't buy it yet. Here we could do this straight. So the pair we know doesn't win, and then now the straight does win where the pair wouldn't have. So that's like plus $1 for taking the shortcut. Marble Joker is a form of scaling, but maybe not as an eternal rental. Ace, this doesn't reach, so we could do two pair, I guess. Either way, we need two hands because the straight doesn't one shot. This also doesn't reach. Cool. So we could go back in time. And I think we do. I think if we go into the next ante with just this is like not good. Obviously going down to $0 sucks, but we can go back to one shot. This sucks. No molt other than the rental molt is not good. So let's drop two pair here. This doesn't need the 3. You don't like Marble Joker on Gold Stake? Yeah, I guess the problem with the stone cards are really strong. If you're playing a pair, like banner here is 60 chips, a stone card is 50 chips, and it doesn't take up a joker slot. So if Marble Joker gives you 5 rocks and you play a rock on every hand, then that's like the same as having a negative joker, kinda. Steven instead of abstract, so we don't have to pay the rental fee, I think makes sense. I think also investment tag seems useful here. Steven is fine with banner, fine with shortcut. Anti-3 investment tag. Do rocks affect the consistency of getting pairs? It does technically a little bit, though not a whole lot. In my opinion, it doesn't matter that much. Like when you're playing pairs, you hold on to gold cards anyway, you hold on to steel cards anyway, so you can hold on to a rock, it's fine. Okay. I guess I could do this. Only 2 even cards is not great. And then pair the forward. Did we win the Grimbo Square? We did. This has 1 even. Maybe Mad Joker makes sense here if you want to keep doing the ramen, even though it's not compatible with the shortcut. I think I take it. Alright, so we could do jacks and 8s. This is a flush. I guess this is a straight we could play. Superposition would be nice, and Arcana pack would be nice. I could start taking standard packs, or maybe the more urgent thing is we need jokers. Maybe these jokers are bad and we need to reroll for jokers. I think we can survive 1 more round before getting desperate. So go 1 more. This is a straight. No evens. How do we feel about no evens? I could put a 4 in there, but well, I guess if you put the 4, then it's a ×2, but maybe we just get 2 pair instead. We could do 2 pair 10s and 4s, throwing away the 5. Or maybe you keep the pair of 5s, throwing away the ace. Good morning. Welcome, Goob. This doesn't reach. This 2 pair works, no evens. Okay. We get rewarded for taking the Mad Joker. Now that we have $25 in the bank, does it make sense to take Jolly Joker? Maybe Jolly Joker instead of Steven, and then we do the 2 pair plan. This is not great. Maybe we can take a standard pack or maybe a celestial pack. If we get Saturn, we're pretty happy. Uranus is acceptable. Could be Fool or Uranus. I think I don't want to do that with the ramen. And I think I don't need this 10. So let's go next. Okay, we could do aces and 9s. Looking for queens. So This is... we need 3 of those to win. We need to not discard. Discarding is bad. High card scores nothing. We could do 4s and 3s, and then we can play 8s and queens. Okay. Boss says no face card's gonna make it a lot harder to get the 2 pair. Maybe we do need Uranus. Alright, I want to go Arcana first. We get a Death card, we get Magician. Probably Magician. And I think if we're doing Magician, I think Fool for Magician is fine. Probably the Celestial Pack is not really likely to help us. Probably Oops doesn't help us. Invisible Joker, no. Steven plus Strength. Steven as a rental is probably not where we want to be. I think with Strength and the Magician, we can beat this boss. Alright. So... I can do Magician here. That's a king. I can turn a king into an ace. I could turn a 2 into a 3. That way we do aces and 3s, throwing away the face card. That's not good. We could do 8s and 9s, throwing away a face card. Okay, 10s and 4s. Now we have 3s. We have not that many 9s in the deck. Does this pair win without Mad Joker? It's like half as many points. I think we do need Mad Joker. I think that means I discard for the aces instead of the 8s. Aces and 7s. Unlucky. Maybe discarding also dangerous because you lose the banner value. Maybe Scary Face is necessary here. We just got nothing. Could be Hungman. Or could be more lucky cards. So probably we want the Magician, and probably we could do a Jack, and we can do an 8. Now we have a Molt problem, because in the next round we actually lose unless we hit the plus 20. Maybe you just drop the shortcut and take the Scary Face, and then it's fine. Kind of a bummer the shortcut didn't work out. This is fine for 1 round. We could do 2s and 7s. That's not great. Because if we discard, then we lose all of our points. So I think we play high card once. We could do queens and 8s. We need to draw the lucky aces here. And then maybe a jack. We have 8. So we really do need the lucky aces. Yeah. We could do aces and kings. Is better than the 2 pair. We get less banner value. That's not good. And then we die rich. Bad. Dang. That was a rough run. I don't know. We took the Eternal Banner. It made sense at the time. It actually did help us for a while. But then, you know, you get to the end and we We didn't get 5 jokers, so the eternal doesn't matter. We would keep the banner anyway. We just, man. The only molt was the rental molt. That was rough. Need to run it back. It was rental Jolly Joker, and then it was rental Abstract Joker, and then it was rental Jolly Joker again. It was perishable Mad Joker. Mad Joker is tough to do with banner. I don't think there was a rental. What was it? Rental Steven. Like maybe you sell Mad Joker for rental Steven. Feels worse. Seems worse. Banner isn't good enough with 2 discards. That's false. That's not true. Hiker was never the answer. I don't think it was Hiker. We could have had a Polychrome Hiker, but that didn't seem correct either. We would have been even more poor. Could be Vagabond, could be Mega Buffoon Pack. Boss says discard random cards. I think I'd rather have Mega Buffoon Pack. $20, $23 in the last shop. We had, maybe. I guess we had a reasonable way of winning as long as we don't, as long as we draw the face cards without having to discard. Or we draw some face, as long as we draw 2 pair, we live there. But we had to discard to get the 2 pair immediately. Alright, here it's Grimbo, probably not as a rental. Grimbo as a rental seems too expensive. I mean, Blackboard certainly. But then it's either Jolly Joker or Grimbo. Aaron says it's just Grimbo. Alright. If you say so. I think I prefer Jolly there, though. If I'm gonna do Grimbo, I guess I want to do something like this. I guess the plan is to save my money. So maybe do something like this. Pug says no. Pug says Grimbo seems expensive. I think so too. Alright, we got $3. We can't get the banana unless we want to drop the blackboard. I think the answer is no. Maybe Magician. So we could do Lucky Aces. Something like that. There you go. Could be a blue guy. Yeah. Blue guy solves the Grimbo problem where now we can score with relatively few hands if we want to save money for interest. So we can do this. Can't take a Spectral Pack because we have a rental Grimbo. Okay. I guess we could take the business card here. But we can't get Overstock because we have a rental Grimbo. I guess here we could just play for the money, probably. Bummer. Baseman or sixes work if we get at least 3 face cards, but we can't draw them because we have a rental Grimbo. We'll see. Welcome, Raiders. Welcome, Kirsten. Could be pair of kings here. Could be pair of queens. Chloe wants us to sell Grimbo. Aaron said Grimbo was the play, so let's do it. Are we keeping Oops as a rental? Probably not. Hello, stupid. Welcome. Hungman. Do we take it? I guess it makes Blackboard better. It makes business card better. So maybe 4 and 3 we can hang them. You just keep it at this point. This is our bed, and you know, we gotta lay in it or whatever it is, whatever the saying is. You did this. Okay. Wingcap, thank you for the gifted sub for Family Computer. I agree. That is a cute one. That is a funny one. Alright. Can't take this Arcana pack because we got a rental Grimbo. I guess we could take this Buffoon pack though. That's probably safe. That's not good. Take this Arcana pack in your opinion? Alright, let's do it then. Alright. And then make a bunch of spades. Play the face cards and then make these into spades. Alright, I don't know what this is, so I guess I just play all those. Alright, now we got 12 bucks. Well, now we got 11 bucks. Could be... I guess you don't take the free reroll here if we've got Grimbo. We don't have room. So... Are we taking the standard pack here? My thoughts are no. My thoughts are it's expensive. Also, with Grimbo, maybe it doesn't help that much. Even if you do get a good card, you don't necessarily draw it. Alright. How about high card king? How about a pair of queen? Specifically, Aaron said on the blue deck, Hundo P, we can afford it. Rental Grimbo, Hundo P. Rental Grimbo instead of, stupid, you missed it, but the other option was Eternal Jolly Joker. The booster pack was a Mega Buffoon pack, had Blackboard, and then you have to choose between Rental Grimbo or Eternal Jolly Joker. Did not say Hundo P, you said it's just Grimbo, right? Just do it. Alright, let's go... Now we could probably save our money. Yeah, Pug and I were on Team Jolly Joker. At this point, we should probably greed for more Grimbo value to make it worth it. Now we have money. Now we have infinite money. Kirsten also likes Jolly Joker. Well, that makes 12 of us. Alright, let's go pick up Mars, I guess. And then go next. So, high card ace. Bang. Okay. That means I need to do this a couple times, and I don't feel like figuring out how many times. And maybe do that. Is parking worth it with Grimbo and business card? I feel like you just play the face cards, so maybe we don't care about parking. All right. Yeah, maybe like that. Blue Joker does get worse as we play more hands. Sorry, Drizzle. Grimbo's still here. But we got a grabber, so maybe it's not all lost. Maybe it's not that bad. Maybe don't worry about it. Parking comes back. It could be a gold 10. Seems good. Golden ticket seems not ideal. I guess I could play high card 10. So I guess I could do this. I guess we could do this. All right, so this is already 5,000. Kinda. This should work. And then play these. Maybe play these. Maybe the business card is better than parking. Okay, so I mean, blackboard we can't lose. All right, could be Earth, could be Priestess, probably Priestess first. That's a king, and it's a black king. Probably we take that instead of the gold seal. This jack is less good. All right. So I could use a chariot on a king, probably. Boss's face cards are debuffed. Is the reroll better than parking? Maybe parking's awkward with the blackboard. Now we could take the Spaceman. Eternal Rental Spaceman is going to be a no for me, dog, but maybe Spaceman is good here. Maybe Spaceman instead of parking, and then that way we could do the blackboard more easily. All right. So I could play this pair. Shaky, 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 shaky. All right. I could do this pair. Blackboard plus Grimbo is annoying, but theoretically possible. I want to play the pair of nines. I want to discard this king. Maybe we discard the king and all of these. All right. So now 7 and 2, we can hang them. But if we do that, then we got to do blackboard over here. And then maybe play the nines. All right, now that we have the chip scaling, we can't die anymore, right? All right. Could be Temperance for 10 bucks, or it could be Death for another face card. I guess I make a gold card. Crash says we don't have to play this one out. True. Eratus, I guess. We don't need the face cards. Maybe I keep the ace. Alright. This is not a pair. That's disappointing. I guess I don't need the ace anymore, or this 9. Okay, could be a pair of aces here, keeping the sixes. Fours, fives, sixes. Not terribly thrilling, I guess. Fives, keeping the face cards. And then pair of sixes. I guess it doesn't matter if we just put blackboard on the left anyway. Anyway. Sandbagging for Grimbo. What have we... Look what we've done. Look what we're doing to ourselves. Was it worth it? Maybe you turn the queens into clubs there. I don't know. I like having an extra gold card when I got Grimbo going on. Alright. Could be play high card, I guess. But we miss out on the spaceman value, which is maybe fine. For your first ever completionist plus plus, Stupid recommends playing decks that are fun. I agree, yeah. I think one thing that people kind of misunderstand is like, oh, completionist plus plus is the thing that you do after you've done everything else, after you've done all the challenges and after you've beaten gold stake on every deck, and then you got to get gold stickers with all the jokers. And so people think, ah, this means I've already played the game a bunch, I've already learned the game. Whereas like completionist plus plus is the start of your journey as far as like learning the rest of the game. And so enjoy the process. There's a lot to learn. I guess I don't care about the purple seal that much, or maybe I do. Let me get this. That's pretty good. So we can make not the most efficient world ever, but maybe that's fine. Light him up. Bang. Could be lucky faces. Could be maybe Emperor is more important with the blackboard. Maybe we... Yeah. Death and Moon. Maybe those are important with the blackboard. Yeah, also like... Balatro doesn't necessarily need to be your forever game, right? So maybe you just want to chase that achievement. Get the thing done, check the box, and then that's it. And that's also fine. Probably I want to use death on something that generates value for me. $20,000 for that one. I could use the moon on the jack. I could just play the pair of eights here. Maybe here, this is a good moon. And then play the queens, holding the kings. Turn a 2 into purple, I guess. Purple turned out better than I thought it was going to be honest. How about we could play this pair of aces. Alright, maybe I don't need the jack. And then we can play kings. And then we could do 6 kings. Almost 4 of a kind. Another world. Let's look for a fool. No fool. Alright, but we do get a hung man here. So... I guess I don't have any 6s, so strengthening the 5s into 6s doesn't really make sense. I don't have that many 2s. So I think strength here doesn't help at all. I think world here doesn't help. I think maybe judgment is not really what we need to be doing. So it's just spin the wheel. Bummer. Queens. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. We could do aces and then tens. Do I care about turning the lucky ace into spades? How many? I guess I don't have that many cards that are not already blackboard compatible, so maybe we do that. All right, so 22,000 for that one. This is going to score less, but maybe not necessarily that much less. Okay. We could discard the one purple. Or we can wait. Maybe I'm supposed to play the 4 of a kind for the 4 of a kind levels. We get rewarded for waiting. There's 2 purples. Almost the end of my diamonds. We have emergency lovers. Play the pair. Cool. This boss says pairs sets money to 0. Okay. I guess that means we're gonna be broke. I guess I don't need a 10. I'm looking for kings. Well, it could be a 10. Nah, we don't need it. Rebate. Less good with Grimbo, I guess. We get a lot of points for a pair. Does second Grimbo start at 0? Yes. Unless you onk it, also true. Alright. So, Wild King. Discard 2 purples. Hierophant doesn't matter. 4 of a kind kings. Bang. Yas. Okay. Gearing up for a driver's license. Could be. I guess this spaceman is replaceable. So could be death, make another king instead of Hermie, I guess. C-dubs, how goes the runs? We've had like 3 runs back to back with very limited molt options. So like one of them we didn't get a molt joker until ante 3. One of them we had only rental molt the entire run, like 100% all the way through to ante 5 or 6 or something like that. We had one run where the first shop was Eternal Crazy Joker. And then I forgot where we ended up after that. Oh yeah, we got Green Joker off after the Crazy Joker. Yeah, it's been interesting. Alright. Go next. I'm not a blue deck believer, but everyone else is able to make it work, so try to keep an open mind, I guess. Steel cards are getting up there. I guess I discard 2 purples. What deck would I rather be playing? For this, I like yellow. I like that the first ante is really cozy on the yellow deck. We could do 4 of a kind and then play the 9s after. Zodiac deck is my favorite deck. That's true. Justice. Zodiac deck is nice because you have hero cards for emergencies. You also have overstock. Sometimes you get some early planet cards. Gold Queen seems fine. Death. Dang it. I guess I could copy a queen. Maybe that's kind of the same as a king. I want to use justice on a king. I guess I don't use the emperor here. We could stone the 7. Stone 7 is kind of the same with the blackboard. So we just spin the wheel, I guess. Alright, we might be able to avoid playing a pair. We could play 2 pair. We could play 4 of a kind. Okay. Could be a flush. And do I have enough kings to do... I guess we could do lucky 10, lucky 4. Probably gonna end up playing a pair. Maybe if we get the 4 of a kind, then it's fine. So I could play this 4 of a kind. I could maybe turn this king into glass. There we go. Okay. High card is really weak because blue joker is smaller now. We can play 2 pair. We could do 2 pair 5s and 7s. This should get us there. Shuffle me Jimbos. Okay. Idol on King of Diamonds, that's kind of funny. Maybe you don't need the spaceman anymore. Maybe I go Justice here. We could do... I guess Steel King is kind of exciting, but if I got the moon, I could do a Glass King. Okay. Idol, currently King of Diamonds. Crash doesn't think we need Grimbo. Well, I guess it depends on whether or not we draw the glass cards. Currently, we can guarantee the draw. I guess I drop the business card. Something like that. Alright. So, pair of queens. I guess like this. Okay. Pair of 7s we could make lucky. There we go. Are we gold staking with a purpose? Just for fun. Just playing some gold stake. Alright, I guess if we play the queens, we lose the money, but I want to try to play the 4 of a kind. Maybe Grimbo is less fun? True. Okay, so I could discard the king, and then maybe keep the aces. We get a magician. So the aces might win, and then we won't get the level. We get a world, so maybe with the idol I turn all of my kings into spades. Now we have 100% kings of spades. Okay. Idle on 8 of spades. There's another death card. How many 8s of spades do we have? We have 3 8s of spades. There's a king of clubs. I guess that doesn't matter. Huh. No pair. Whoa. Can you believe it? C-dubs! Thank you for the $50 for the Trevor project. That's pretty awesome. That's pretty cool. Pair the 10. Okay, now we have the steel cards in hand. Still no pairs. That's crazy. I guess I want to discard the purple one anyway. So maybe I discard the purple one now. Huh. We can pair the jacks. We can pair the queen. The next one wins. So we could do purples. And 3 cards left in deck. I guess we drop the queen here. Temperance. Alright. Temperance is only 10 bucks. So shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. Bang. Bummer. Gold Seal King. Too late for a Gold Seal King, I guess. Idle on 10 of spades. Maybe I should have saved the death card. Technically, we could do 10 of spades, I guess. You could do the world. Idle is the worst? Do you think idle is the worst? I think it is hard to use. Could be this guy. Here, we get the showman, and the showman allows us to get extra kings. How about that? Hermit gives us +0. Bang. Alright. 10 of spades, you say? So okay. I guess I can start with the ace. We could play a pair of 7s, I guess. Purple king. So I could discard purple king here. I could discard steel king here. Still no 10s. That's crazy. I guess we just play the ace. Alright. Ends in deck. I could discard a king. Maybe I don't discard a king. Maybe we still draw those dang 10. Maybe. I 7 cards left in the deck. Alright. 2 cards left in the deck. Alright. Wow, Spaceman lock in. Alright, here you go. Steel card. And a couple of 10s of spades. Bang. Cool. Alright, I want to do this. Oop. I need to do this. There we go. Diamonds or clubs? Tempted to do clubs. I guess if I discard like this, I get to keep 3 diamonds. So maybe that's better. Maybe the 9 and Jack are high enough, you keep the 4. I know what I want to do, but I feel like it should be this. Holographic plus scaling. It's probably gotta be the space guy. Bummer. Alright. Can we get some lower pairs? Like a pair of 5s. That's pretty low. That's why we like yellow? Yeah. Pair of 2s. What about, I guess pair of Jacks wins? Don't forget to shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. Eternal Rental Hologram. If it's yellow deck, you take it for sure. Or could be rental blackboard. That's kind of interesting. Rentals aren't real. 2 rentals? Okay. Pair the 10. Okay. Crash says we'll never have money. Never have money? That sounds a little bit melodramatic. I think hologram is justifiable. I think maybe rental blackboard, you don't need both. I think we win with just hologram. I don't think we take Shoot the Moon. This is getting a little bit dubious. We haven't gotten any levels. Okay. Could be pair of 3s. Throwing away 3s. Pair of 9s, I guess. We have Jacks and 10s. We don't have 6s and 5s. Well, okay, we could throw away the 6, we could throw away the 2. Maybe something like that. Okay, could be pair of 10s. Looking for a Jack or an Ace. Okay. Why play a pair instead of discarding to save hands? So, Spaceman is perishable. We want to get as much value out of it as we can before we're forced to sell it. So right now, this is the priority. The scaling is priority over having money. I guess Acrobat is okay. I guess probably you're supposed to take the popcorn. Because once this goes, then we die. I think we're supposed to take popcorn here instead of Acrobat. Clean Acrobat. Popcorn doesn't last forever, which is not great. So, could be a pair of 2s. We got one. We got a live one. Alright, maybe he just needs a little snack. Nom 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 nom. Nom nom nom. Nom 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 nom. Pair of 5s. Maybe you throw away the 2. Nom 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 nom. Alright, now this popcorn looks bad. Now that we have 2 levels. Probably Card Shark as a perishable feels too expensive as a perishable. I think we just save our money for popcorn replacement, which feels bad. Okay. Now we're slightly stronger, so we want to play low pairs. Pair of 4s. And pair of 2s. That's not good. That's interesting. Holographic is interesting. This boss is extra bad. Okay. So we can go Buffoon Pack first. We can get Glutinous Joker. Okay. Okay. So probably we need standard packs to grow the hologram. Probably Riffraff doesn't work. Probably Rental Holographic probably doesn't work. Though I guess you could make the case that you take the rental and then it helps you beat the boss. How many pairs have we played? We've played 14 pairs. Take an ace or fancy 6 could be. So with this much molt, we presumably don't one-shot. We can dig for a better pair. We could play a pair of 10s. Does this win if it's 30-ish molt? Popcorn's going away. And then we need to figure out a way to beat the boss. Misprint instead of popcorn feels really bad. The Duelist is on 2 pair. So it could be To-Do List. Since we have an empty slot. I like To-Do List plus standard pack. And then we can get more clubs or we can get more aces, have more chips. Alright, so now we could do 10s and 7s. Okay. We could do some low cards maybe. Could be 7s and 6s, throwing away the 5. Sandbag? Oh, you mean hologram on the left? It's not super different, but yeah, technically we could do that. 6 and 5 here, we could discard. We can discard the 2, and the 8 or the 9, I guess, doesn't matter. I would like to get 2 pair one more time. So I guess we dig for the ace. We could do aces and kings. Doesn't matter which ones we play. Alright, so To-Do List cost us a Joker slot, but we get plus 12 bucks. Photograph doesn't work. Standard pack is necessary. Could be king or jack. I guess king is closer to being an ace. Our pairs are decently strong. The photograph doesn't really help. I guess photograph works if you get a flush with clubs. I don't know if the photograph helps that much. Maybe if we get a clubs flush is better than playing the pair. So like right here, we can go for the clubs flush. And now we're free. We could play a pair of nines. We could look for the house, I guess. Okay. So we have eights. We could do eights and kings. Okay. There's eights seeking kings. The house wins if we get the house. If we don't get the house, we play a pair of eights. Bang. The do list on pairs. Alright, it's ka-chow time. Boss says something about face down cards. Hermie? Alright. I don't think we Empress. Okay. Pair of sixes. Pair of tens. That's 2,000, so we could play a pair of tens. Insane to-do list value. Alright. There isn't any value generators for us to dig for. Hi, Lalinka. Welcome. Okay. Seed money's fake. We take Arcana. We take Celestial pack. The do list on two pair could get a two pair level here. Temperance, or probably we just hang them. We have extra 6. We have extra ace and king. So maybe we remove 5s. Do we take Clever Joker? Maybe Clever Joker is not necessary with the level up 2 pair. And then we can take seed money here. Okay, aces, queens, short on 5s. Okay, 9s and 3s, I guess. Aces and kings. We don't need this 4. We should be strong enough to win without hologram. Now we can play 6s and 8s, throwing away a 7. Okay, and then what? Now we need a pair. We have kings, jacks, 10s. So kings, jacks, 10s. Play a pair of 10s. Probably we should have used hologram on the second to last hand. Because if we don't draw a pair there, we might die. Temperance is $8. We could make a gold card. Probably we want to make a gold card. Could be a gold spade. Because it's spades. And then pick up a 9 instead of a foil. Or maybe you take a red seal. Could be red steel card. Alright, here I'm interested in winning as fast as possible. Maybe we can try. Try to get a 7. To go with our 6. What's the best deck? Sorry, what's the best deck to get max hand? What do you mean max hand? Like the most points? Plasma deck gives you big points. If you want to get big hand size, Anaglyph deck gives you double tags. I think I just play the pair of 8s here. I think maybe the straight is not happening. Maybe. Is the straight worth enough points? I think we might have to play 2 pair one time. This is guaranteed pair. There's 9s and 6s, throwing away the 8. And then this is a guaranteed pair. Yeah, I think the biggest difference between like me playing when I'm recording a video versus me playing on stream is like when I'm streaming, I just watch chat constantly. So every time I submit a hand, I just look away and I don't actually look at how many points each hand is worth. So now our pairs are not actually strong. Our pairs are only like a couple thousand points each. But now we got Supernova, so it's fine. Probably Supernova as a rental is fine. Maybe we do that instead of the... maybe instead of Jimbo. Faceless, probably not as a rental. Pair of aces. Pair of 4s, throwing away the queen so that we can try to dig for the blue guy. Okay, we could play 3s, throwing away a 10. Tens plus the queen wins. Maybe. Last hand scored almost 1 billion points. Alright, good to know. For frame of reference, good to know. Pair of 10s, how about that? Alright, the main thing we need right now is more chips. The levels help with that. When we lose, blame Stewie. Stewie said it'd be okay. I guess we can make a gold card here, and then we can make another 7, turn a 6 into a 7. I guess maybe I don't do that since I have an extra 6 already. Oh well. Are we keeping the queens? Let's try 1. So with the queen, it's 9,000, so probably we do keep the queens. I guess we can dig for the other blue guy. We have a lot of discards. Bang. That's it, I guess. Do we have enough money to open these Arcana packs? The answer is probably no, which is a little bit sad. Do we play a pair of queens? I think the answer is also probably no. But then I need to draw some other pair, which is a little bit tough. Maybe you keep the sevens, since we have extra sevens. That's not good. We can play, we cannot. We can play a pair of jacks. We could play two pair. We don't get supernova value on the two pair. We could play the horse. Is the two pair without the supernova value worth it? Could play the horse for the money. So this works as long as we draw 3 pairs. Or actually, we only need 2 more pairs to win if there's 17,000 each. Okay. And then the pair of queens wins. Or we could play a pair of 8s. Stinky. Alright, boss says decrease level. That's rude. Four cards just to scale Nova by 1? That seems valid. That seems viable. So maybe 3 of a kind. Whoa, satellite's $3. Pair of 2s. I'm considering 2 pair. It's being considered. Should be able to win with pairs from here. The 7s are not good. I could do pair of 5s and then discard the 4. That's slightly greedy, but maybe only slightly. Pair of queens, copy a 7. Pair of kings. All right. So the pair there was only actually 17,000. Which means in the next round we still kind of need more chips. Would be nice. Power is useful with a red seal, maybe. Growing the hologram here with an ace is good. There's a hungman. So we could drop 2 10s at the same time. I think to do this on high card is not happening. Alright. I think we re-roll this boss. There are worse bosses, but it's pretty bad. Because I have to play 5 pairs. Alright. I guess if you roll into the eye, then you're differently sad. Alright. There are the aces. I have a pair of 2s, which wins. I can dig for my blue seals. Pair the 2s. I guess I can use the moon on these. High card for money. True. I guess, can we still do high card here? Or it's only $4. So we get supernova scaling. This is fine. The pair doesn't win unless we have a queen in hand. So it would have been $4. It would have been one hand. Probably. Assuming high card scores no points. Alright. I guess we can make some lucky cards. Stone worth selling for interest? The stone is our backup plan. Stone is... if you play the rock, it's a ×2. It's like a glass card. If you use it on the red seal specifically. We have enough levels that maybe you want a glass card, but probably you want the gold seal. Alright. I could turn the king into a rock. That makes it easier to get value. We got a level, so we probably don't need the queen. Alright. So... I gotta do this. And then toss the rock. Pair of aces. Maybe you keep both 7s in hand. Alright. 2 pair here shouldn't win, but then we have to draw another pair, which is probably fine. Alright, so we have a pair of 7s, and we could potentially draw... I guess it doesn't really matter. There's 2 7s, alright. So, any more 7s in the deck? Could be a pair of queens. Bang. 30,000. So this hologram is the same as Blackboard. Blackboard would have been a ×3. Yeah, without being results oriented. Well, except with the Blackboard, you wouldn't be able to do these diamonds, so probably hologram's still better than the Blackboard. I guess it's Eternal Rental hologram with no other jokers, no molt jokers. I'm not 100% sold on the hologram. Once again, the, what is it? The seed money is not real. But look how cool it is, the hologram. It is pretty cool. I like that. Alright, we can discard purple and then spin the wheel. Let the record show was not a serious suggestion. I think it's worth thinking about. I think it's worth asking the question. Is hologram strong enough that it's worth taking as an eternal rental? With the idea being, if I have the rental, I can't actually afford any standard packs. So the hologram doesn't actually grow. Maybe you die before the hologram gets online. Anyway, the question is, with hologram being as strong as it is it ever not takeable? And I think in that situation, you got to think about it, and then maybe concede that it's not takeable. Alright, pair of 5s gets us out. But did you die? Not technically, no. But seed money is killing me inside. Alright, I could turn a king into an ace. That seems like a good idea. We could use strength on a 4. Doesn't help. Strength on a 3 maybe helps. Wow. Shiny. Wow. Alright. Pair of king. Instead of 2 pair. We don't need all of the pairs to win. We could play 2 pair one time. I just don't feel like thunking about it too hard. You could go 2 pair here. Maybe I don't need the 7. Hello, Dubs. Dubs, it's El Clasico. It's Supernova plus hologram. Blue Seal Slop. Clearance sale? Nah. Extra 7 might be good since we have 7s already. Stinky Boss. Boop. We got another rock. I could turn the gold seal into a rock. Does make it harder to get pairs though. Okay, lucky aces. The next one wins, maybe? What if we do this? What if we get a little fancy with it? Ka-chow. Ooh. With, that's like +8 molt. Sick. Bummer. Boring boss. Blue guy, I guess. Maybe Judgment instead of Shoot the Moon. Ka-chow. Wait, Dusk plus the rack? Plus the 2 racks? Whoa. Okay. Aaron gonna head out to dinner? Alright, good luck. Sounds fun. I should probably eat something. What should I eat for breakfast? What do you think? Buka always got the best ideas. Buka, what should we have for breakfast? Tacos? That sounds decent. I could do a taco. Wait a second. Seed money is real? Seed money plus 50? Well, sorry, plus 5? We can take the clearance sale? Whoa. Tacos for C-dubs? That's nice. We could light them up. We could burn it all down and onk the to-do list. Oh. I think we hold the tower. Because we have Dusk, I think we hold the tower. Maybe Huesos instead of Glutinous Joker. Thai food? Maybe. Thai usually curry, right? No. Indian curry. Thai sometimes curry, but not always. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . I can't really think of Thai food other than like the Thai chilies or like pad Thai. Congee, good breakfast food? That's one of my mom's favorites. Gold seal on the final hand is worth an extra $1, I guess. Or extra $3, maybe. We might not make it to the final hand. I think I want to keep the rock instead of getting the level. Yeah, just let me keep my rock. Thai green curry? Yeah, that's what I think of. Thai food. I just don't have a lot of experience. Red seal with a rock. All right, let's get another polychrome. Could be a foil. Turn it into a rock. Could be you just get a rock. I guess I want to try to play the glass 7, so maybe we get the rock here. Maybe we... Yeah, maybe we'll play the field a little bit. I guess the foil is better with the dust. Okay. That's kind of funny. So... Where are we at with the supernova? Supernova is 64. Okay. So that works if we draw the glass card, which maybe we can't guarantee that we draw the glass card. So maybe do one of those. I like the hung man. You already knew that. Could be ramen. I'm a believer. All right, here we go. All right. Isn't Seltzer better than Dusk? True. Why not both? How about a pair of 9s? Good chow. How about a pair of 10s? Here are the aces, throwing away the 7. Okay. Oops. All 7s. I could play a pair of 4s. If we play a pair of 4s, I have to draw 2 7s, which seems like a lot of 7s. So maybe we just do this pair of 4s. Okie dokie. Red seal, I want the 7. I really want the 7. What do we got? If we don't draw a pair, we sad. So maybe we're supposed to keep the kings. Maybe the glass 7's not gonna happen. Sad. Already sad. Bummer. Nice amount of mult on the supernova. Cool. Boss says spades. Diamonds or 10? Sure. Punished. That's a 2-streaker. That's it. That's a 2-stroker. One and then one more. Stroke it and then stroke it again. Crafty Joker as a rental is probably too expensive. I think I just take the reroll. And I like taking Magician. This gives us like a 50% chance of one-shotting the next round. We could take Crazy Joker here. I think I'm a believer in the Magician. Alright. 2 7s. Dang. That's not good. Alright, 6s and 3s. So now we got $5 or like $7 or whatever it is. Popcorn, and then we live. Hallucination we can't do. Rough Gem we might be able to do. With Rough Gem, almost a flush. A flush makes it worth it. I could play 2-pair, then it's not worth it. Is it worth doing high card and then dig for diamonds? Bummer. The next hand wins, no matter what it is. Is Rough Gem worth keeping? Probably not as a rental. That sucks. Cost us an extra hand, but could have given us $2. I guess maybe, I don't know, if it was worth the risk. Crazy Joker. We want to reroll. Maybe before we reroll, we go Buffoon Pack first. We always take Buffoon Pack. Delayed gratification is good with popcorn. Smiley Face rental, Droll Joker rental. These are not great. I think I stick with rental popcorn. And then pair the 6s here. So many rentals. Yeah, I mean, that's what we had earlier too. Temperance for $5, I guess. Is it square as a rental? I can see it. I can see it. I don't think we take Matador. So let's say this cost me $9 over the next 3 rounds. What else is that $9 doing? Are we going to be able to get some other different source of chips? Second rental is rough. Delayed gratification helps. The problem is, if we lose the popcorn, we not only do we need more chips, but we also need more malt. We need both. $13. I think we don't take second rental here. I think if the popcorn wasn't a rental, if we didn't already have a rental, I would take the square. Oh well. Two pair. Jacks and aces and then 9s and 8s. Django, I'm glad the content has been helping you get some rest. All right. Probably strength helps. Probably Uranus helps. Maybe get some enhanced cards. We have good 7s. We can try to make more 7s. Turn 6s into 7s. Okay. Pair of aces. Alright, the pair is not good. We know that. We could play the house. House is good because it gives us a lot of chips to go with our molt. I want to turn 6 into 7. I could turn a 4 into a 5. Maybe, and then we can... That helps us set up the 2 pair in the future. Play the 5s and the face cards. That's not great. Popcorn is dwindling. This helps. Shoot the moon helps. I think we survive now. I think we get rewarded for not taking the square. Chad. Chad plus lucky, Chad plus glass. Chad plus strength is useful. Alright. Glass queen. Or take a rock. Rock is good with the Chad, though maybe glass cards are better long term. Alright, Hermie here, also Hungman. So I want to turn my 6s into 7s. Maybe we can hang the 8s. And we could definitely reroll once. Could be Splash instead of Shoot the Moon. Or, yeah, it could be Splash, could be Sly Joker. I think I like Sly Joker. Loose, 6-7 was your first message of the stream? Bummer. Alright. Two pair is legit. We could play 2 pair. We could turn a jack into a queen. That's another option. I could turn 2 jacks into 2 queens for the glass cards. I think I still want the 7s for the lucky cards instead of the glass cards. Okay. One more round delayed gratification. No star. Bourbon is aged 6 to 7 years? That's interesting. That's cool. I think I turned this 6 into a gold seal. Crash says sell the delayed gratification. It's not going to do anything. True. I could turn a 9 to a 7. Do we get more 7s? Could be that guy. Level up the pairs. Alright. We might be okay. Maybe. Play the house. I want to get the gold seal, right? That's several 7s. Bummer. It was never Squimbo. I agree, but I do think it was worth thinking about for a second. We did get kind of bailed out with the foil, though. You gotta admit. We don't have room for an astronomer unless you want to get rid of Sly Joker, and I don't know if I would do that. I don't know if I would recommend getting rid of a Sly Joker. It does make Swashbuckler better. Maybe. Feels greedy. It's like, this is a times 1.5. If we take Astronomer here, we get kind of comparable value. So, I could see it. Alright, now, I think we still do pairs instead of 2-pair. And 3 of a kind looks good with this many 7s. Alright, this boss actually helps us draw 7s. Start with the queens. Sick. Oh. Now we just win, I guess. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Alright. I just want to get my 6 into a 7. Please. We could even make it lucky. We could do so much here. I don't need this queen. We don't have the hologram. No judgment. Maybe spin the wheel. Yes. Is the strength into a 7 worth missing out on a planet card? I think the answer is yes. Huh. That's an option. I guess. And then we got the queens. Let's just do the astronomer. Let's just do I mean, that seems like fun. That could be fun too, right? Could be. Didn't get the 7 still. We have telescope on pairs. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. No, not those 6s. I want to strengthen the gold seal 6. There's a lucky 7? I believe. There it is. Ka-chow. You know what? Ka-chow. You know what else? Ka-chow. We've done it. Alright, play a few 7s, I guess. A lot of ka-chow. We could move the constellation, I guess. Maybe. Boss is plainly one hand. Okay. Egg for the swashbuckler value? Aren't we like... I guess... Then it's another eternal? Then everything's eternal? I guess that's fine. If we get the verdant leaf, we probably live with egg and constellation. You could sell the swashbuckler. Alright, if you want the egg, we'll take the egg. There are things that could become obstacles for us. Huh. Egg acquired. Purple seal instead of holographic 7. That feels bad. Alright, now we got 3 Eternals. Alright. This boss is fine with a pair, I guess. Could be a pair of queens. Instead of the house, just play the pair of queens. Or how's the 2 pair looking? Just do that. Alright, queen successfully deleted. Observatory? Huh. This boss says... Alright. Serpent. Okay. No room for jokers because we got this egg. Alright. That's the second photo? Alright. So, I guess I want to play the pair of 7s. That's money. Dang. No purple, so we could play a pair of 10s. There's purple. We can play a pair of 4s. I already forgot what the boss was. Oh yeah, it's Serpent. Alright, discard the 5. We can play a ton of 7s. Probably. 12th Doc. Hello, welcome back. A whole ton. Okay. Erosion. Sad. Can't take it. Full for Mercury or Glass 7? We got 10 7s now. We got so many 7s now. We could do this kind of 7s. Bang. Okay. Huh. We could make more gold ones. We could make more purple ones. I think you're supposed to make the purple ones. Bang. Hello, Kirsten. Nanner? Nah. Mime? Nah. You've been comforting cats? We haven't had any fireworks yet here. We didn't have any fireworks last night, which is like kind of insane actually. So I'm very grateful. It does freak out the animals. Could be death, or maybe you turn the jacks into queens, or maybe you turn the 9s into 10s, or yeah, maybe this. I'm in Texas, yeah. Magician, okay. Purple 5. I think I do value the purple 5. So let's go. We got glass 2s for some reason. How are we doing on 3s? Maybe we don't care that much about 3s. We could do lucky cards, maybe lucky 5s. All right, bang. Justice. We have a glass 2. We could make more glass 2s, I guess. Or maybe we go glass queen since we have so many queens. Pair the 9s. Bang. Okay, pair of twos. We got some glass pairs. Play the pair of fives first. Okay. Pair the 10. Next pair wins. We could play the glass 7 with the lucky card. We could play the glass 2. We could discard the 3. And then I guess I do just play the glass 2. If the 2 breaks, it's fine. We could do glass queens instead. Yay, 21 on the bunkler. Yay. There's another death card. This boss says I'm only allowed to play pairs, which is kind of rude. Hashtag only pairs. I want to strengthen the 5s so that we can eventually make 7s. We get more 6s. I could turn an 8 into a 6. That's huge. E-Bomb! Thank you for the 5 gifted subs. That's really cool. Hungman. Where are we hanging? Probably aces and kings. I guess I have more purples in the deck, so I probably should play a hand here. Eh. We get the strength for the 6. It's happening. E-Bomb, it's happening. Do I want to strengthen these 6s? Probably not right now. I guess I don't get a pair here. That sucks. This pair works. I'm on the moon? True. That's factual. Alright, give me the cat. The cat that we don't have room for because we got Northern Lion. Okay. You get another magician? Oh my god. Kitty sent me to the moon. I've been banished. Okay, start with a pair of queens. That's 22. We can do a pair of 2s. Am I strengthening this 6 ever? Probably not. I'm going to use strength on the purple 6. That's not a purple 6. Man, does that mean I gotta do the thing now? Man. If I can play the pair without winning, that could work. I maybe discard all the purple ones. Huge. All right. I guess Priestess first. I'm not too worried about the constellation. All right, so my 4 of a kind is comparable to my pair. So I could do high card 7 and then play the 4 of a kind 7s. Maybe. Maybe I just do this and then get out. Maybe we lose $6 from doing that? From being a coward? Spaceman? Dang it. No ace. Death card. So it could be $30, or it could be you make another 7 and then remove the kings. All right. Pair the 7s. That's where we start. Okay, how are we doing on points? It looks like the pairs are gonna win, so we can discard purple. We can play this pair of 7s. And then maybe the pair of queens is the end game if we need it. Looks like we don't need it. Looks like we just play pair of 10s here. Maybe save discards for the gold seal 7. Pair the aces. Maybe I'm supposed to throw away the 7. Alright. Strength. I have more 6s I can turn into 7s. I can play the 7s here. That's it. Boss says base, chips and malt halved. Could be a trio. We don't have room for it because we got Northern Lion. I guess we could hang him again. Or we could use Justice on a 7. Yes. We could go 1 steel, 1 glass. Well, dog, it's not a stupid egg. Look at the synergy. It's scaling. Also, it's money. Look. How dare you insult my egg? Look, you could get 2 planet cards, or you could reroll and get 3 planet cards. You could reroll and you could get more temperance. You could get more temperance. Never speak to me or my son ever again. Alright. So how about a pair of 7s? Bang. Was that a compelling argument? Did that compel you? Man, I guess I could do glass here. That's fine, I guess. What if we get another temperance? Do we like those? Are those cool to do? Purple? Bang. Gold here, I guess. Pair the 5s. Fortune tellers plus 44? Huh. No room for invisible, I guess. Will we get a Saturn card? Could be another 7. We got so many 7s. Probably we don't take just a naked 7. Could be death on another purple. Could be the Hungman. Probably at this point we just do the Hungman. Okay, so steel, I guess I don't super care where I put it. Maybe you go steel 9. Do we still have a glass 2? We do have a glass 2. Do we care about 3s? Probably not. Aces and 3s, we can hang them. This boss does say base chips and mold halved, which is a little bit rude. So we need to find a source of chips, or maybe we just play the glass cards now. Could reroll the boss. Justice. On... I guess I have more purple in the deck I could turn into glass. Floor time is great. That's a good shout. We win with 4 hands? Not quite, right? That's only 35. Alright, here we could do Justice after making some bonus cards. 2 purples. Dang. I guess if you go Emperor, you can't get Temperance. 4 of a kind level? Alright, so pair of 7s. Discarding purple. Sad, we can't. I guess we play the lucky 7s. Alright. What if we got a boot? Could be a boot. That's pretty good. Any boot believers? Any boot takers here? If you take the boot, then you can't do this. Can't do the Tarot Merchant. You gotta reroll. Northern Lion is ruining us. Many such cases. Could be a bull to go with your boot. Could be swap this for the boot, swap this for the bull. Could be one of those. Definitely not that guy. Alright. So... Oh, fireworks just started. Pair of 10s sucks. Daniel, you're a boot boy. You're a boot enjoy. You're a... Yes. Fool for Mercury. Not even dark out? It's like medium dark outside. Alright. I guess I could play this one. Plus 20. Pacific time zone? No, Central. I could play the glass too if I want. Maybe, and then we can try to smash if we want. Maybe. My house is not leveled up at all. 26 in the deck. I guess we play this. Okay, couple of 7s. We could do this pair of 7. We could do this, could be a couple of 7s. with a bonus card for extra chips, probably. Something like that. Dang. Kind of spooky if that doesn't one-shot. 2 glass cards doesn't one-shot. Kind of spooky. Alright, this boss says, shuffle me Jimbos. You want a 7? You want another 7? There's so many cool 7s. Let's get Mars. 51 on the fortune teller. The swashbuckler's catching up. The swashbuckler's real. Oh. Are there any cat believers? Kirsten doesn't believe that much. So we do have the Chad, but we only have 3 glass 7s. Dubs is not a Plinko believer here. Or sorry, not a Pico believer. So we win with what we currently have. What we currently have wins. But I think you can also, with the Chad, swap the cat. Magician upstairs. Play the glass 7s. You get Temperance, and then you reroll for more planet cards. Alright. Now we might win. Might be okay. Alright, so for sure we do this. 7 in the front. Bang. For sure we can play the 6s. Bang. Okay. For sure we can play the 7s. For sure. Okay. No spoilers. Okay. Alright, so we could do a 7, we could do a 2. For sure we can play the 2. Without the steel card. Bang. Well, that didn't exactly do what we wanted it to, huh? Alright, so we could discard 2 purples. Bang. We can't really do the Hungman here unless we want to get rid of purple 9, and maybe I do want to get rid of a purple 9. Maybe it's fine now. Maybe it's discard these 2 purples. Huh. That's an option. So progress the lychee queer. We could do this. We could do this. We could do bingo bango and then consolation. Yeah, that works. Okay. One and a half. Okay. Could be temperance for another 50 bucks. Any temperance believers? Or only temperance deniers? Egg deniers? Any egg deniers left, or did we defeat them all? Have they been slain by this point? Team results oriented? Alright. I think you're supposed to play this pair. This has got the gold seal. Bang. Yum. I guess I don't care about this. Purple 7 we could play. Throwing away the 5 maybe. Three back-to-back temperances? Nah, it was 4. It was 4 temperances. Alright, drop all the queens. Bang. Spin the wheel for sure. Alright, 6s. Bang. Okay. Another one? Maybe? Can I play the 1-7 without winning? And then I guess we could do something like that with the 1 glass. Okay. Tribe. 12th Doc says, wasn't hating the egg, was hating on the eternal sticker. Okay, so if it's eternal egg, when do you sell? So if it's not eternal, when do you sell the egg? Ante 4 or ante 5? Maybe ante 6, maybe ante 7? When would you sell it? I guess I don't need any more 7s. Ante 12 could be a good time to sell it. That's true. 64 on the fortune teller. Huh. Could be one of those. Every gold stake player sells the egg before they hit it big. What's the number on the egg? The egg by itself is 38. 2.5 on Bartolomeo. We have 6s technically. Chariot maybe? Alright. Oh no. My Jimbos. Alright. So I guess we could play a bunch of 7s this way. Bang. I guess we could play some 7s and 2s this way. They've been scrambled. Huh. Maybe the strength is not super important. Dang. Someone outside, they lit a firework and they scared themselves. Alright, I guess we could do lucky 7? Could be lucky 6. Actually, we got a pair of 7s. Could be a pair of 7s. And then I guess that's it. That's all we got. Where'd we end up with the cat? Bang, 3.5. And that's just in one ante. That's just one go around. Cool. Well, that was a pretty fun one. Yum yum Chad. Yeah, reroll as an eternal. sometimes questionable. Eternal Egg, honestly, sometimes questionable. You should question it. Probably you still take it, but you should at least think about it. If you already have the reroll, maybe you don't take the egg. If you've got Constellation, which is like super scaling Joker, then maybe you can take the egg. Maybe you only need these 3 Jokers. Maybe if you already have 2 value generators, maybe taking the Chad is a little bit dubious. Or maybe because you have access to some money, then it's okay to take the Chad. Short-term chips, long-term glass cards stuff. Couple folks signing off. Jess is signing off. Good night, Jess. Definitely the purple seals helped. The purple seals helped you copy the purple seals. I don't know if you can hear that outside. Anyway, I imagine it's firework time, which is a little bit annoying. So maybe we'll all sign off here. Who else is live? Man, I'm so tired. It's been rough this week. Uma Musume got like a pretty serious update, and so I'll be honest, I've been putting in a lot of extra hours. There's like an arms race. There's me and 100 other people. Maybe it's only 100 people trying to do the exact same thing. So I gotta be competitive. Maybe I don't need to be competitive. I don't know. It's just kind of fun. So if you want to see some Uma Musume stuff, probably what I'll do is I'll have breakfast first and then do some Uma Musume in the Discord. If you want to check that out. If not, perfectly understandable. All right. Let's check out. Wait, other than the Balatro category, who else do we know? Nandre is playing Dota 2. If you want to check in on Nandre. Is Fur live? Sometimes late night Fur, that could be fun. May stop by. White Toe Trading Company. Looks like a little cat in the Balatro category. That's cute. I'll tell you what. This says 24/7. Balatro beats to help you sleep. I think that might be just like a rerun channel. Anomaly. Stupid says no, not that one. Okay. Maybe let's not do that one? Okay. Rerun channel? Yeah, okay. Maybe we all just go to bed. Maybe that's the answer. I'm gonna go raid Nandre because I'm gonna put Nandre in the background while I have breakfast. For a chance. Alright, so the plan is we'll be back on Tuesday. Usual time on Tuesday, 4 p.m. Central. Gold Stake speedruns will return. Let's go back to playing fast. Thanks for hanging out, everyone. Thanks for, as always, all the continued support. Stay safe.